Okay, so today's lesson is a little different. I decided to stick to one formula because I just want you to practice. And tomorrow, whenever I come back, we'll look at the next three because they're a little bit more involved. But this one is kind of like the other day. It's how to use our calculator, right? This is going to be a calculator-based formula. So I have a little confession. Remember how I told you that like we can't do ones like this in our calculator? Well, I didn't really lie. I just didn't tell you all of the truth. The problem is I can't type it in the way that it looks into the calculator. Our calculator can do the regular, just log, right? We've practiced that several times. And the natural log, right? Those two buttons are on our calculator, but there's not a way to change the base. So like if I'm looking on this paper, I can see like number 5. That's just a plain log button. I think there's another one. On the back, right, we see the natural logs, 14 and 18. I think that might be all of them. But like those, you can just type in your calculator. It'll give you the answer. It's great. The rest of them, you can't. So what there is there's a really great thing called the change of base formula. It's wonderful. We love it. So here's what the change of base formula says. I'm going to write the formula and then I'm going to actually do like a couple of these problems and you're going to do the rest of them for a grade because it's literally how to use your calculator. So here's the formula is if you have log with a base that's not 10 or e and whatever you're taking the log of and you need to find the value of it, here's what you do. Using the regular common logarithm in your calculator, you would do the log, just the regular common log, of what you're taking the log of, divided by the log of whatever your base is, but it's not going to be your base anymore. It's going to be like what you're taking the log of. You're going to use the common logarithm to take the log of each one of those things and divide, and that's your answer. So like in my calculator for this one, and obviously I can't show you my calculator face right now, but this is what I'm going to type in to do number 1. In my calculator, I'm going to use the fraction button and do the log of 3.3, like just hit the log key, and then the log of 3, because what I'm taking the log of is on the top and my base is on the bottom. Type that in on my calculator, that would be helpful. So the log of 3.3 divided by, oops, hold on. I'm using my white calculator, so it's a little picky. Log of 3.3 over log of 3, yes. And rounding to the nearest thousandth, okay, so that's 3 decimal places, by the way. The answer to number 1 would be 1.087. 1.087. Okay, so that's the solution, or the value, not solution, of number 1. I mean, and that's really it. That's all you're going to do on every single rest of these problems. And there's not one that's like hard or weird or, I mean, don't worry about number 25. You don't have to do number 25. I just want you to practice being comfortable with your calculator and rounding to the nearest thousandth. Again, that's 3 decimal places. So like if I did number 22, for example, just to be random, that would be the log of 194 divided by the log of 16. Like that's what I'm typing in my calculator. Again, if it will let me, the log of 194 divided by the log of 16 and rounded to the nearest 3 decimal places. That would be approximately. Oh, I hate that. Okay. So my calculator, I get 1.899999. Like it's a bunch of 9s. It's just 3 9s. I think I said 4. So that's actually going to round it up to 1.900. But that's 3 decimal places. So that's number 22. There you go. So now you have the answer to 2 of the problems using the change of base formula. And again, like I said a second ago, we know we don't have to do the change of base on 18. Yes, I want you to do that problem. And we don't have to do the change of base on 14, right? Because we have a natural log button. And we don't have to do the change of base on 5 because it's the regular common log, whereas all of the rest of them have other bases. So your job today is to complete all of the rest of these, round to 3 decimal places, and I expect it to be correct because it's literally using your calculator, and then turn it into Miss Cantrell before your body leaves my classroom. I hope you have a great